Hey there, friends and enemies. Jopa here again, and today I need to talk about the post-apocalyptic open-world survival MMO looter-shooter hybrid, which is Once Human. I was not aware of this game at all until the last couple weeks, where it has seemingly filled the void left by the flop that was the day before. And this game shows an immense amount of promise, in my personal opinion. It looks like it's going to be an absolute banger. Now, it does try to do a lot of things. It is not perfect at this stage. It is still in beta and not set to fully release until the end of 2024. However, from my time with the game so far and from everything I've seen, this one hits a lot of the boxes that I personally want checked for games of this nature. It has a lot of different players in a individual server, kind of like something like Rust or other survival games like that. But on top of that, it has PvE and PvP, as well as more looter shooter MMO type aspects with random enemies, world bosses, dungeons, raids, all that kind of good stuff. And so I definitely wanted to spread the word about this one so people could keep their eye out for it, because I do think it's going to be absolutely massive if they continue to improve on the things that they have shown off in the game so far. So, what are the main points of interest for me personally with this game? Well, I am not much of a builder in survival games, but the building in this one is very seamless. It feels super easy to set up a house or a base, especially if you're working in a group. And that's one of the things that I very much enjoy, because it doesn't feel like I have to really go in depth and learn how to build a base. Whereas if you do want to take it to that next level, there are options for those who want to specifically focus on farming, crafting materials, building bases, and all that kind of good stuff, if that's more what you're leaning towards with a game like this. Now, in the beta, PvP is opt-in only. It does seem like there's going to be different servers for PvP versus PvE in the future. So you might have some servers where you have just full cooperative survival aspects and only PvE and no PvP, or you might have battles that are massive with PvP aspects as you take over people's bases and everything. So that could be very, very interesting. The build crafting so far has been pretty fun. I do like there are options with it, and it doesn't feel like anything is wildly overpowered at this stage, but you can notice improvements as you are messing around with your different items that you're getting. So I do like that aspect quite a bit, and it feels like there are a lot of ways to kind of customize the gameplay that you want for your specific character. And I've seen a lot of people talking about this where they want to play a certain way and the game does allow them to do so. So that's pretty massive as well. Now, as far as the PvP goes, I haven't really had a chance to dive deep into that. It does feel like there are some hit registration issues and some lag problems that might pop up in a beta like this that hopefully they get fixed by full launch. I know PvP is something that can really extend the life of a game of this nature if it's done correctly, especially if you have like active communication, like if you can talk to your enemies, if there's prox chat for your allies and enemies, all that kind of good stuff. We've seen it with Rust and other games like that, but if you have a game that also introduces dungeons and raids on top of that, it does feel like there could be an extra special element above what we see with other survival games. And that's what has me more excited, because I am not traditionally a survival player, but I do love MMOs. I also am a massive looter shooter guy, and this kind of feels like the perfect combination of those in order to get me interested and also playing with my more survival oriented friends. So I'm very excited about that. So essentially the gameplay loop is pretty straightforward. You can gather resources, explore the environment, hunt, fish, and discover anomalies, all that kind of good stuff, which I think is really, really cool. It does have all those aspects right from the jump, and then you can engage in combat with, like I said, PvE or PvP. The variety of enemies is not insane right now. However, the bosses so far, I think those are really nice. What they've done with those are a good step in the right direction as far as setting up raids, dungeons, world bosses, and all that kind of good stuff going forward. So that's very nice to see. They really started off with a good set of bosses, mini bosses, and that kind of stuff. Although it's hard to say with the beta because you don't know how many there are, but so far so good with them for sure. And then as far as how you play the game, one of my favorite things is it's kind of left up to you. There's really no specific way to play it. It's not like something like Destiny where you do have a traditional campaign that you have to follow in order to unlock certain things. It's more similar to a survival game where you jump in, but there is storyline, there is lore, all of that stuff that you would expect from an MMO or looter shooter, which is also very nice as well. So I don't know. I think my biggest concerns with this game, one, right now it is scheduled to come to Steam, but also it was originally targeted for mobile as well, which is a bit of a problem. We haven't seen what the monetization is going to look like. They've done good at scaling up the servers for the game with the beta. However, in order to get access, you, one, need a code, whether it's from Twitter or from the website. And then two, we don't know when launch hits and they have a massive influx of players, if the servers are going to be able to handle that. That's a minor concern. Monetization, we don't have any idea how that's going to work. NetEase has a history of questionable monetization, so hopefully it's not too crazy, especially if it does come to mobile. I hope they pivot and then bring it to Steam and maybe eventually console, but we'll have to wait and see. It depends on how popular this does get. Overall, I do have pretty high hopes for this one. It's kind of what I'm looking for in the future of this genre. Not so much the specific structure of the game, but the fact that it does a bunch of different things and allows you to fully play with friends and other people in order to engage with the content as much as possible, while also encouraging you to kind of play your own way. And that's something that I think more MMOs, looter shooters that are coming out could definitely benefit for it. I do wonder if they're going to upgrade the graphics a little bit, but I don't know if that's really necessary. We've seen games like Rust, like I mentioned, have graphics of this nature, and it's not really a hindrance or anything like that. So overall, I'm really looking forward to getting hands-on with the full game. I'm going to be providing more coverage of Once Human as I dive deeper into the beta. I just wanted to make this video because I really think more people should be checking out this game now and going forward into the future. My name is Jopa. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more coverage of Once Human. Definitely appreciate it. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.